GPS navigation is often described as a technological miracle, but its real achievement is psychological. The system did not transform travel by making maps better. It transformed travel by changing how uncertainty is managed while moving. Before GPS, navigation was a front-loaded task. You prepared before leaving. You studied maps, chose routes, and committed them to memory. Once the journey began, mistakes were costly because correction required stopping, recalculating, or improvising. The burden of navigation lived alongside the burden of driving. This worked when environments were slower and simpler. Roads were fewer. Traffic was lighter. If you missed a turn, you could recover easily. But as transportation systems grew more complex, the cost of uncertainty increased. Highways limited stopping. Urban grids multiplied options. Construction and one-way streets invalidated static knowledge. Paper maps did not fail because they were inaccurate. They failed because they demanded attention at the wrong time. Early digital navigation systems focused on completeness. They tried to replicate maps exactly, assuming that more fidelity meant better guidance. But drivers could not process dense visual information while in motion. The problem wasn't knowing where you were. It was knowing what to do next. This insight reshaped the system. GPS navigation shifted from representation to instruction. Instead of showing the world, it began guiding behavior. Turn-by-turn directions replaced overview maps. Voice guidance replaced visual scanning. Distance was converted into time, not miles. Design constraints played a critical role. Screens had to be readable at a glance. Instructions had to arrive early enough to prepare, but late enough to remain relevant. Errors had to be handled gracefully. Missed turns could no longer be framed as failure. They had to be absorbed silently. This is where GPS navigation diverged from traditional mapping. It does not punish mistakes, it recalculates. Recalculation is not a technical necessity, it is a behavioral accommodation. Humans make wrong turns. They hesitate. They change their minds. A system that required strict compliance would quickly be abandoned. GPS works because it treats deviation as expected, not exceptional. The voice matters more than the map. Spoken instructions free visual attention for driving. They also reduce anxiety. A calm, neutral tone implies control, even when conditions are changing. Silence between instructions signals safety. Too much guidance feels intrusive. Too little feels abandonment. Routing decisions reflect similar trade-offs. The fastest route is not always chosen. Systems often prioritize predictability, simplicity, and fewer turns. These choices align with how humans experience effort, not how algorithms measure efficiency. The moment of realization comes when you notice what GPS does not show. It rarely reveals the entire route. It withholds future complexity. It narrows attention to the next action only. This is not a limitation. It is the design. GPS navigation succeeds because it reduces cognitive load at the moment it matters most. It shifts responsibility from anticipation to reaction. Instead of holding the whole journey in your mind, you are asked to perform one task at a time. Over time, this changes behavior. People explore unfamiliar places more readily. They take longer trips with less preparation. They trust systems over memory. Spatial awareness shifts from mental maps to procedural flow. The system is not teaching you where you are. It is teaching you that you do not need to worry about it. This is the invisible design at work. GPS navigation is shaped not by geography, but by stress, not by distance, but by decision fatigue. Its current form reflects an understanding that the hardest part of travel was never knowing the route. It was carrying uncertainty while moving forward. When GPS works well, you don't feel guided, you feel unburdened, and that quiet absence of worry is the real destination it was designed to reach.